front-wheel drive and about as stylish as a shoebox. The new 2 Series Tourer is about as far from the traditional BMW formula as you can get. Worried? Us too. Based on the 5-seater active tourer, the Gran Tourer adds an extra 21 centimetre in length, 5 centimetre in height and a longer wheelbase. Doing so has allowed BMW to create its first 7-seater MPV. Now, if you're female and wearing a dress or a skirt, it's not the most ladylike way to pull up this 3rd row of seats. This is far more dignified. Getting in, however, is not. And once here, it's rather cramped. And whilst you do get 2 cup holders, there's nowhere to charge your mobile phone. And it is probably children that will be sitting in this 3rd row, and we all know they spend most of their time playing on their phones or tablets. Just like the active tourer, you don't get 3 separate seats, so it will be tight fitting 3 adults in. Plus you get this large lump in the floor, which is the transmission tunnel for those models fitted with 4-wheel drive. And when you move the seats forward to give the 3rd row a little bit more legroom, it becomes very squashed. Fold the rearmost seats away and you get a 560-litre boot. And you can extend space further by either sliding the rear seats forwards or pressing a pair of switches in the boot that cause them to fold down. Up here in the front, it is identical to the active tourer, which means the design, materials and iDrive infotainment system all give the impression that it's a step up from a mainstream MPV. So it feels like a BMW. But does it drive like one? The Gran Tourer is based on the platform and engines of the Mini and can be ordered in front or all-wheel drive. Whichever model you choose, it certainly feels a lot sharper to drive than other cars of this type. The steering is firm for this kind of car, and while there's a bit of lean in the corners, there's still plenty of grip. I wouldn't go as far to say it's exciting, but for an MPV, it's pretty respectable. That's not to say there aren't any niggles. These split windscreen pillars, for example, don't do any favours for visibility. And while the ride is not harsh, a Citroën C4 Grand Picasso, for example, provides a much more comfortable ride. The engines are impressively refined, although if you're going to regularly carry 7 people, the 3-cylinder 216D is a little overwhelmed. Instead, we'd recommend the more perky 218 petrol or one of the more powerful diesels, such as this 220D. There's also plenty of safety kit, including 6 airbags and a system that warns you if it thinks you're about to crash into the car in front. On the downside, the Gran Tourer is not a cheap car. Prices start at a little under $25,000, while this top-of-the-range 220D xDrive is £32,500. For this kind of money, there are bigger and more versatile MPVs, such as a Volkswagen Charan or Ford S-Max. But if you're craving a bit of extra practicality from your BMW or a bit more premium from your MPV, then the Gran Tourer still ticks a lot of boxes. To read in-depth reviews of more BMWs, more MPVs and more, well, everything, visit the Telegraph Cars website by clicking here, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel by clicking here.